Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition. This is episode 100, so yay, special 100 episodes. Why am I still doing this after 100 episodes? I'm just kidding. This episode is going to be a little special, because I'm going to be doing this on the Apopalypse. But, yeah, I'll just do it on the Apopalypse. I was going to do double cash mode or give myself a cash injection or something, but I suppose I could just leave it as the Apopalypse. So, what happens in the Apopalypse is the round will just keep on coming. If you're familiar with Bloons Tower Defense battles, it's kind of like that. Or like Bloons Monkey City when you're being attacked by a person. It's also kind of like that, if that made sense, if you're familiar with those two games. But with this, it's a little bit different, because in Bloons Tower Defense battles, it would basically just give you the wave that, that's basically half, like every other wave, I guess, from the normal Bloons Tower Defense setup. But in the Apopalypse, it's just kind of random balloons that are just coming in every so often. It's not necessarily a completely constant stream, I mean, pretty much constant, but you can also see in the bottom left corner, there's nothing that's indicating it, but we're already on round 5, and it was pretty fast. It didn't really get too much harder. Obviously with the few higher tiered balloons that come in every now and then, but probably the biggest problem, I guess, or biggest difficulty, is that you don't get the plus 100 cash every round. So I probably went about this the wrong way. What I kind of wanted to do, now that I think about it, is instead of placing a boomerang thrower right at the beginning, if I had placed a couple special agents and then just waited until I had enough money for a banana farm, but it costs 1,000 because it's on like medium cost prices, medium prices. So having a banana farm early on would definitely be a big help, because this is basically just survive as long as you can, because as you can see, it's round 9. That's it. Like, there's no round 9 of 50 or round 9 of 65 or round 9 of 85. This is all just as long as you can survive. Now, I don't remember exactly how I did it, but there were times when I would get to like round 100 or 130, and it would just really start lagging really bad, because once you get up to like round 130, then it's just ZOMGs and BFBs and MOABs and just massive amounts of balloons flooding in, and the only way I've known how to deal with that is with a bunch of Glaive lords, or with a bunch of laser cannons from the Dartling guns, the Doom Ray, I think it's called, Ray of Doom or something, or the Super Monkeys. However, the Super Monkeys, I think, are actually worse than the, what's it called? The, I don't know what I'm saying, but now I need to do something. I'm actually just going to build a second boomerang thrower. Dang it, I'm going to leak a couple lives, but oh well. I suppose it's kind of inevitable that I'm going to be leaking some lives, but oh well. And again, I don't know if this is the best placement. It's just I kind of freaked out when those balloons were coming by, so I tried to place it a little closer to where they were. But just having a second boomerang thrower should be pretty helpful, just to have that extra attacking power. Having the specialty building is definitely helpful, because then if I don't get through all of my pop count, like they can pierce through 7 balloons, I think, now that they have the Glaive thrower, or now that this one has a Glaive thrower. And if it doesn't pop through 7 balloons, then they'll be sent out for a second throw, but only one time. It won't just continuously keep going until it gets all its pops. But I'm actually going to upgrade to Red Hot Rings, or Red Hot Glaives, because the lead should be coming soon, so I'll have to deal with that. But I think with the Glaive thrower, it should be pretty good just for a little while. And again, like, I really don't have that much money, and it's already round 16, and I've only got a Glaive thrower and a regular boomerang thrower. Like, that's why the Apopalypse is so hard, because you really don't get that much cash, and the rounds just keep going quicker and quicker. Well, not quicker and quicker, but they get harder and harder, and eventually, when you get to like round 100 or 130, it takes about 20 minutes to get through a single round, just because of how long or how many balloons there are and how laggy it gets when you get that far. And it's been a long time since I've played the Apopalypse, so I may not do as well as I thought I would. But that just reminded me of something that I said that right before I started recording, I was thinking, oh, I'll start talking about this as soon as I start the recording. But then it's been like probably not 10 minutes yet, but I don't know. It's been a while. But the reason why this is special, episode 100, is because I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway, similar to the Terraria giveaway, except obviously I'm not going to be giving away Terraria. I recently tweeted at Ninja Kiwi saying like, oh hey, I'm almost at my 100th episode, think you could give me like a couple codes for Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition that I could give out as a giveaway. And I really didn't expect them to even reply to me, but then they said like, oh sure, here, and then they gave me 2 codes for Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, and I'm not 100% sure how it works. I'm sure you can either ask them or I can figure it out or something. But I have 2 codes for Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, so if you would like to win a copy of Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, then just comment in the comment section below saying I would like to win a copy of Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, and I will enter your name on a list and then use a random number generator to determine who will actually win the copy. And then on Monday, so you only have 2, I guess kind of maybe 3 days, because on Monday I'll look through the comments on this video and put them all on the list, do the whole random number generator thing, and then announce it on Monday. So this is a much shorter time frame, because I'm assuming there's more of you that would want Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition than there were that would want Terraria, and I've only got 2 copies, so I don't want to have like 50 people comment and then only be able to give away 2. So you really got to be paying attention, although of course as soon as I say that I feel like I'm not gonna, like someone's gonna complain that it wasn't enough time, but yeah, that's kind of the nature of giveaways, that there's not exactly enough time for everyone to know. But I mean, I gave kind of some warning this week saying like, oh hey, you should watch this episode, you should tune in because it's gonna be special, you don't want to miss it. So hopefully you'll all be able to watch at least this part up to this point in the video by Monday and be able to comment, and then hopefully I'll be able to get everyone included. But right now I just have a boomerang thrower, a bionic boomer, and I just remembered that I'm gonna have to deal with some camo eventually. Not sure when. This is round 26, so obviously it's not following the same pattern as the normal Bloons Tower Defense 5. Well, this is this is Bloons Tower Defense 5, but it's not following the normal pattern of Bloons. But with this bionic boomer, that should be really helpful, especially with the double Ranga and the specialty building. The bionic boomer, obviously, you've seen in the past, is very good, very helpful. But again, this is the Apopalypse, so I don't know exactly how helpful it'll be. And I know that some of you, as far as like if you want to win Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, I think it's a good game. Like, I feel like if I advertise it, it'll be like, oh, we were just advertising for Ninja Kiwi. Well, 1, they're not paying me. 2, you're not paying them. And 3, obviously I've been playing this for 100 episodes. I really enjoy the game. I really enjoy the Bloons Tower Defense series in general. So yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird to say that I recommend that you enter to win a contest that I don't actually want too many people to enter, because I don't want to feel bad for not giving everyone a copy. But this is definitely something where I can't just like buy you guys copies or something, because it's more expensive than Terraria, and I don't have any money. So let's see. Just to repeat myself in case any of you missed it for some reason. If you just want to enter to win a copy of Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, just comment in this video before Monday. What day would that be? Today is the 15th, so then 16th, 17th, 18th. So yeah, before the 18th, or at least like before noon, California time, on the 18th. So if you live in like Sweden, or like the UK, or even just like on the East Coast, make sure you check what time zone you're in and like compare that to America, California time. And just try to comment before noon on Monday, the 18th. And then I'll just try to get in all your comments on a page, and I'll do the same thing as I did with the Terraria giveaway, where I'll record me, this time hopefully correctly, I'll record me putting all the names on a list and then going through the random number generator. And there's only 2 copies, so if like 3 of you enter, then obviously at least one of you isn't going to get the copy. So I don't know why I have to emphasize that. Just for my own personal conscience, I have to feel like all of you know that only 2 copies, only 2 people are going to win. I don't know why I feel so bad about giveaways, even though I want to give stuff away. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so I've got the Bionic Boomer and I've got the Bloonjitsu Master. Both of them are pretty awesome. And I'm going to try to throw in a Monkey Buccaneer. Eventually, I'm going to try to just make a whole mass of boomerang throwers, and you know what? I just changed my mind. I'm not going to place a what's called Buccaneer yet. What I'm going to do actually is get a Monkey Farmer, because I always need more of those. And yeah, I'll place it right here. To place it by the banana farms who collect money for me, because I should have done that much earlier. Should have tried to save up for that first, but now that I've got a banana farm, that should be helpful. And you know what, right now I don't think my defenses are good enough for a MOAB, although I think that was like now the 2nd ceramic bloon, so probably don't have to worry too much about the MOABs for a while, hopefully. I really should have tried to do a little bit of homework and research how this works exactly. Let's see. So, okay, banana farm, got that going. I think now that I already have a banana farm going, I can just start again on Buccaneer. I'm gonna try to fit as many as I can, so I'm trying to place it as close to the edge as I possibly can. Alright, so with this Monkey Buccaneer, just now upgrading it to camo detection, and then I'll upgrade it to the Destroyer, because then it'll attack super duper fast, which I really enjoy, and it'll be very helpful against the MOAB. Again, not exactly the best thing against the MOAB, but with the Bionic Boomer and the Bloonjitsu Monkey, hopefully that should be enough to take down a MOAB. But again, I've never really tested that theory, this little trio of monkeys, and it's kind of funny. Dungeon Defenders 2, if you're familiar with the game, if you're familiar with the Dungeon Defenders franchise, I suppose, they're doing this thing called the Defense Council, where you can join to get early access to the game. There was only 500 seats that sold out in like less than an hour once they're available. I think there's still a couple seats on eBay that you can bid for, but those can get pretty expensive. But then they're also doing these little contests on Twitter and Facebook, I suppose, where there's just different little minor opportunities for you to potentially get into the early access, beta, alpha, pre-alpha actually, or it might be alpha, I'm not sure, because they talk about pre-alpha. But anyways, one of the things is, or one of the ways you can do it is by coming up with a interesting hero idea, which at first I was thinking like, oh sweet, I can come up with something. I'm familiar with tower defense, I can think of something that might be cool. And I started thinking, and I couldn't think of anything cool. Like, what I like about Dungeon Defenders is that they basically cover most of the generic tower defense styles, I suppose, in their characters or whatever. So, like, trying to think of anything else tower defense-y, the only thing I could think of was, like, Bloons Tower Defense, and I was thinking, like, what if they had some kind of monkey king that built these monkey towers that did all the things from Bloons Tower Defense, but I don't think that would work. I think that would be pretty close to copyright infringement or something. But that'd be kind of cool if Ninja Kiwi did something with Trendy Entertainment Dungeon Defenders. That'd be a pretty cool crossover type thing. Just saying. That'd be kind of cool. But, alright, so now with the Banana Republic, almost at enough money for valuable bananas, so I'll be getting 750 per round, which obviously, this is round 40, so Oh, look, there's the MOAB, which actually, that came in faster than normal, because that's it's supposed to come in on round 46 in the normal game. So that's kind of interesting. Alright, so, I was about to say, oh yeah, see, this is a good enough defense for MOABs, but not quite, because obviously if they're coming in this fast, then I'm going to need more firepower to get rid of them. Don't know when I'm going to build the next banana farm, but hopefully soon. But obviously I need to worry about dealing with these MOABs because they're more troublesome than I was expecting. Having 2 destroyers will definitely help, but I'm going to need more. So let's see, I'm probably only going to be able to fit 3, maybe 4 in here, because I don't think I did a very good job at trying to make or use as little room as possible. Alright, so now you can see that there's a lot more MOABs coming in. They pretty much sped up their production pretty fast. But what is slightly good about that is that then I am gaining money faster. So, kind of contrary to Bloons Tower Defense battles, is that you do actually get money from these pops. In Bloons Tower Defense battles, you don't actually get money from the balloons that you're popping, you just get money over time. But here, like I said, you are actually getting money from the balloons that you're popping. So, that is good, obviously, because that means that more balloons means more money. Which is obviously still a bit of a problem, because more balloons means more money that you need to spend in order to pop all the balloons. But let's see, I'm actually going to try... I know that I said that my defense was going to be a bunch of Glaive Lords, but I'm kind of not doing that right now. Some of you may be screaming at your computer saying that I should use Super Monkeys or use the Monkey Engineer more or something, but I'm going to stick with this at the moment because it's capable of defeating all balloon types and it's pretty cheap, so I can keep spamming it. Just switching off between Bionic Boomer and Balloon Jitsu Monkey, and then I've obviously got those destroyers to help out. The destroyers, with 4 destroyers, they're basically like a super monkey. I mean, at least 1 super monkey, if not 2. So that's pretty useful. And they can only be placed on water, and they're the only thing that can be placed on water, so I'm not really like taking up any valuable real estate or something. And oh look, I can place another one. So I can now fit 5 of them in that little spot. That's awesome. Alright, so I've got 6 of those, 5 of these, 1 of those. I think this is actually a good time to get another banana farm because my defenses actually seem to be sending back the MOABs. Like I'm actually gaining ground on clearing them off the track a little bit. So that's always good. Let's see. So now just increase this banana research facility. Wait for 4,000 so I can get the valuable bananas. Now, while this is clearly a decent defense against the MOABs, obviously the BFBs are going to come in probably pretty soon. What round is this? 46? Yeah, I'm guessing around 50 the BFB is going to come in, but I don't know. So, in the meantime, I'm actually going to start building some bomb towers. And yeah, I should probably build them closer up here. I don't know where the best place to put them is, but I'm going to put it there. Alright, so I'm going to start building a bunch of these. And again, I realize that I'm not going with the Glaive Lord strategy that I said I would, which may be a bad idea. Maybe this is a good idea. Just throwing in a bunch of MOAB Maulers, because obviously the MOAB Maulers will be very helpful against the blimps. However, there will be a lot more blimps that come in. This is a nice, easy, medium-sized concentration of blimps. There's going to be a much closer-knit stream of blimps that eventually start appearing, so this right now is nothing. But that's why I do need a lot of MOAB Maulers, because they do have an explosive area of effect to help them attack multiple MOABs. However, they do not have an infinite area of effect. There is a limit on how many balloons they can pierce through with their area of effect. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure there is, because that's why I don't always use them as often, especially not with Apopalypse, because it will get to a point where there's just so many blimps that they can't actually pop them all within any given explosion radius. However, once you get to that point, I would kind of consider that a win on the Apopalypse. Definitely, if you could fill up every possible space of land and upgrade everything that you placed there all the way, and I didn't mean to upgrade that. Well, I've got Monkey Tycoon, so I can just sell that and replace it, because I didn't mean to upgrade it all the way to MOAB Assassin. And again, I say this on multiple episodes, but if there are any Ninja Kiwi employee people watching this, I think it'd be a nice idea to be able to sell an upgrade rather than just sell the entire tower and rebuild it. Just in general, like if you accidentally clicked on an upgrade that you didn't mean to, it'd be nice if you were able to just sell that specific upgrade rather than have to sell the whole thing. But just a suggestion. Obviously, still a good game. Not trying to complain about the game. It's just, you know, little suggestion. So now this, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Alright, so I've got 18. Might as well throw 2 more in, just to even it off at 20. Even though it's 18 is already even, but just get in 20 of those. So I'm pretty sure no BFB is definitely getting through here, especially with all this other defense. And now I can start upgrading my banana research facilities, or upgrading it to the banana research facility to make sure that I'm getting even more money per round. Because obviously all these MOABs is helping, or all these MOABs are helping me gain some money. But also for the long term, the right side upgrade I think is actually more efficient. But that is really long term. You have to pay more attention to it, and I prefer just to stick with the banana research facility rather than the monkey bank, which I might show eventually how that works, but at least for right now I'm going to stick with the Banana Republics and the banana research facility. So once I get 3 of them, then that's going to be 9,000 cash per round, which is going to be very helpful, because that's obviously a lot of money. But let's see. Alright, so now, like I said, 9,000 per round. And now I'm actually going to start off building my Glaive Lord army. I'm going to try to place as many as I can. And it's going to cost a lot, which means I should probably use a monkey village, or yeah, monkey village. Monkey village? Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, I was thinking monkey town from one of its upgrades, but I'm going to be using, or I should have been using a monkey village to decrease the cost, one, of all these banana research facilities and all of these bomb towers, because now if I were to use that monkey village technique, that would save me quite a bit of money, but I don't need that much money because I obviously have these banana research facilities giving me 9,000 per round, so it only takes 2 rounds or less, really, because of all the MOABs, in order to get a Glaive Lord. So I should get through them pretty quickly. And something that is slightly going to bother me is how the Glaives float around the boomerang thrower, or the Glaive Lord, I suppose. They're going to be... Actually, well, that's cool. Okay, once it switches rounds, once the round changes, then the Glaives actually do realign themselves. But when you place one, that wasn't a really good example because I placed it pretty nicely, but you may have noticed earlier the Glaives that rotate around them, they're not always in sync, so that would have bothered me. And one way that you can fix that, well, I guess the main way that you would fix that is if you were to if you were just to wait till the next round and then start it up. But for the Monkey Ace, if you're familiar with that tower, the airplane, if you have like multiple Monkey Aces and they're all flying around pretty close to each other, if you don't place them at the exact same time, then they're going to be flying like out of sync with each other. But in that case, they don't reset after every round. So if you were to save your game and then exit and then load the game again, then they'll respawn basically, or they'll start off in sync with each other, which I think is a pretty cool, not really sure if it would be considered like a bug or a feature or whatever, but pretty cool concept, I guess. Alright, so obviously filling up this little bottom area with Glaive Lords, almost full, or this little bit is almost full. Then I'm gonna increase it all the way on this side, and then maybe stick with this pattern on the inner circle. Generally, when I'm doing Apopalypse, I tend to use the same strategy like all over the map, like just spam Glaive Lords or spam some other tower. But let's see, this is round 55. Yeah, see, this is this is why I don't really do Apopalypse very often, because this is only round 55, and there's so many Bloons that, or so many BFBs that are already in here that are just going to be destroying, or not destroying everything, but getting destroyed, I guess, by all the stuff that I have, which I guess isn't a bad thing. But anyways, there's just so many that I'm going to have to deal with. That's just ridiculous. But I guess that is sort of the apocalypse, kind of like the zombie apocalypse, how there's just so many zombies, because there's so many people in the world that would get turned into zombies. And there's this whole thing about, I don't remember where it was or where someone read it, but it was just talking about how if there really was a zombie apocalypse, the actual zombie to person spread of the zombie infection apocalypse thing. Was I saying apocalypse? Anyways, the actual zombie to person spread of it would not be very good, considering how slow a zombie is and how close they need to get to a person in order to spread it, and how it's only a 1-to-1 spread. And basically talking about how if a single or even a small group of zombies actually appeared, we wouldn't really have to worry about it spreading to the entire world, unless it was some kind of like infection, like a virus, rather than just spreading from bite to bite type of thing. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I suppose it makes sense, because I was about to say the flu doesn't get around very much, but that actually is a bad example. But alright, so come on. Booming, thrower, there we go. It'd be kind of cool if there was a feature for, like, if you place it here, it'll just sort of auto place it somewhere the closest it could be to that point or something, within a small radius. Like if you tried to place it on the track here, it's not going to auto correct it over here or something, but just in those small little areas, that'd be kind of cool for a little feature. But oh well, this is obviously quite a lot of Glaive Lords. Definitely, well, actually, is this more than 20? I'm not actually counting these. I probably should. But, alright, so in case any of you are still listening, still watching, as far as my normal Bloons Tower Defense videos, this coming week on Monday, I'm going to be trying to cut out some of it, or at least fast forward through some of it, just because they're really long episodes when you go through on hard mode. And this is obviously going to be a long episode because it's a special Apopalypse, see how long I can survive episode. And basically it's not so much a see how long I can survive, it's a see if I can survive to the point where I'm just going to stop. Because generally it's not the Bloons that finish me off, it's my impatience that finishes me off, because I'll have been playing it for like an hour and I'm just like, don't really want to continue this, even though I get so far and it just takes so long. And there are times when I'll just let myself save up some money, but what was it? It was before a certain patch where the Ray of Doom from the Dartling gun had infinite pierce, so it could pierce through an infinite amount of Bloons. So I was on the Mount Magma stage and I had like 10 or 15 Rays of Doom all pointed at the center. So theoretically, with 15 Rays of Doom with other defenses mixed in, all of that pierce should be able to pierce through everything in that little Mount Magma starting point. And theoretically, if 15 Rays of Doom were able to pop a single ZOMG, then with Infinite Pierce, 15 Rays of Doom should be able to pierce any ZOMG and pop all ZOMGs. But for some reason, I just left the computer on for like an hour because it was lagging a whole bunch, and I walked away for a while. Then I came back to it and it said I lost. I was like, great. How did I lose? Like, I had what theoretically should be the unstoppable strategy, and yet I still lost. Like, what was that? But, oh well. Let's see. So, continue on with my Glaive Lord building, because now I just saved up a little bit of money to make sure that I don't have to wait for any money in order to buy the Glaive Lords. And I probably could build 1 or 2 more banana research facilities, but obviously I'm getting a little bit more money than I need at the moment, so don't need to worry about the banana research facilities. Alright, so I'm actually going to stop it at that, or stop building at least for now. Again, and count these 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Alright, so I've got 23, which means I should build 2 more to round it off to 25, which is not even, which is why I did not say even it off to 25, which makes no difference. But, alright, so I've got 3 of each, 5 of those, 20 of those, 25 of these, 3 of those. Let's see. Suppose I could build some super monkeys. I suppose. Let's see. I don't actually remember if I can fit super monkeys in this little area. Yeah, super monkeys. Yeah, okay, they do fit sometimes, I guess, in some areas. But super monkeys are larger than a couple other towers, so sometimes they can be kind of hard to fit into these small spaces. So that's kind of interesting. But, you know, yeah, I can sell these just for now, because now there's a ZOMG. Yay! But, let's see. I'm going to try building another banana research facility, because I know I was saying, like, oh yeah, I don't need any more money. But now I need some more money to build super monkeys quickly. So you can't build it there. No. Alright. I could build more like on this side, or maybe 1 or 2 right here, but I'll just leave it within the range of the banana farmer. So now actually, let's see, I'm going to try upgrading all of these to their final stage, their 4th tier. I don't think that actually increases the damage that they do, or increases their range, or attack speed, or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it only gives them their activated ability. Although if I'm wrong, if it actually does get better with its 4th tier, then that'd be good to know. Because I never really upgrade them to their 4th tier, because I don't really like the activated abilities. But let's see, how many of these can I make? I'm assuming all of them, but let's see. Just a little bit more. Is that it? Yeah, that's all 20. So now let's see if I'm just gonna have them all launch off and just destroy all the MOABs. Let's see how many I can get rid of. Alright, so that was all 20 that I just sent out. I did quite a bit of damage, but obviously there's still plenty of MOABs and BFBs and ZOMGs coming in. And now with these 4 banana research facilities, I'm making 1,200 every round, which is obviously 1,000, or actually no, not 1,200, 12,000 every round. It's only round 62. There's already ZOMGs. And we've got all these towers, or all these Glaive Lords, and Bomb Towers, and MOAB Assassins, Bloonjitsu Monkeys, and by now the Bloonjitsu Monkeys and the Bionic Boomers are, they're, what's it called? Spare change, or there's a term that I can't remember what the actual term was, but it was, oh man, it was something like if you have $1 million, a couple hundred is just spare change or pocket change or something like that, chump change. Basically, if you have, say, literally, if you have $1 million, it's not gonna matter if you give away 500 to someone. Like, you'll have plenty more. So that kind of idea of if I have 25 Glaive Lords and 20 MOAB Maulers, and even just with the 5 Destroyers, if I got rid of those 3 Bloonjitsu Monkeys and those 3 Boomerang Throwers, it's not going to be that bad. I'll be fine. Although now you can tell that it's starting to lag a little bit more. I've got the frame rate counter in the top left corner that I can see in less than 10 frames. It's averaging about 9 or 8 frames per second. That's pretty slow. Now it's down to 7, just for a second or two. Oh, it dropped down to 5. Oh boy. Again, this is why I usually don't play Apopalypse, is because once you get even to round 63, it starts lagging. Obviously, it's not that bad right now, but trust me, it gets pretty bad. Which is why I think that's why I lost when I had the Rays of Doom. And I've even had the strategy of just a bunch of Glaive Lords. And of course, I don't always remember if I'm losing or if I just quit. Generally, I quit because I get bored and like, really, it's gonna take 20 minutes to get through 10 frames, like, really. But I see it more as a problem with my computer rather than like a problem with the game. I'm sure there's something on the side of the developers that they could do to make it easier, but generally I don't exactly have the most powerful laptop in the world. So that's why I understand that it's gonna lag eventually when you've got all these towers and all those glaives flying around and all that. And you can tell even these down here, they haven't done anything yet. They don't have any pops. Mob Assassin, I don't know if these actually attacked something or if it's because of the activated ability that they actually got some pops. What about this one? Yeah, you've got some stuff. Yeah, and I could use the aircraft carriers, which rapidly launch monkey ace pilots that strafe the area with darts. However, I really don't like that idea, partly because then I lose my camo lead detection. I mean, I have the Glaive Lords, so that's camo lead detection, but as you can see, there's a lot more ZOMGs that are actually kind of breaking through, they're not really getting through my defenses, but they're getting closer to the end of my defenses. And I've got almost 100,000 cash right now. So I could probably build a Temple of the Monk God pretty soon, but I kind of don't want to because they're not really that great, really. Like, they don't have Infinite Pierce, their explosion from the MOAB Mauler upgrade isn't like the most amazing thing in the world. It's good, it's definitely good, it's just not like the best, maybe. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it actually is the best and I really should use it, but it just doesn't seem too amazing, comparatively. And I could use a bunch of balloon shippers. That'd be pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna build one, or 3. Let's see. Place this one over here. Upgrade it to super wide funnel because it can actually suck up a ZOMG. It just takes a while for it to actually pop through it. Although probably one of the problems with that is that like the destroyer or any of the other towers, if they were to pop the layer while it was inside the balloon shipper, it wouldn't quite work the same way. And obviously the problem with having the strategy of just building a bunch of balloon shippers to get rid of the MOABs, it's not that great because then obviously there's more than just the blimps on the stage. Obviously, once the blimps get popped down to the ceramic layer, then you're going to have a little bit of trouble on the balloon shipper because they're not exactly the best against ceramic. Especially if they're regrow for some reason. If you had to regrow ceramic, oh man, do not use a balloon shipper, because that would be pretty bad. And I'm sure I've already shown it on the sandbox special, which again, every time I bring up the sandbox specials, I always say, oh yeah, I should do those again. And then Monday comes around, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. And also, I should apologize for no Bloons Monkey City or Bloons Tower Defense battles, I think, for the last 2 days. I might post one today, but just it was a combination of being busy and lazy, and mostly on the lazy side, but also I was actually kind of busy. Wednesdays I might not be able to post Bloons Monkey City, but and Bloons Tower Defense battles, but I'll definitely be trying to post Bloons Tower Defense 5 every day. That for sure I'll be trying for Monday through Friday. I don't actually remember the last time I missed a Monday through Friday for Bloons Tower Defense, but Terraria, I've kind of run out of ideas. There's one other thing that I could do in the game, I mean maybe 2 or 3, but in the past few episodes I've been asking in the video, like, hey, if there's anything you want me to do, let me know in the comments. Like, no one's been commenting, so I do know people want me to play with multiplayer servers and all that, but I have no idea how to set up a multiplayer server for like a 24/7 always on server. I only know how to like host a short term as long as I'm online server type of thing, which isn't always as good because then like we can't really work on large community projects as a group whenever you are able to play the game type of thing. Like it's just not really the greatest idea, I suppose. But yeah, so leave me any suggestions for that. I will hopefully be finishing New Super Mario Bros. Wii within the next month, before the end of the year, because I really want to, finish the series, because I was almost done, and then 2, I want to make at least 1 or 2 montages of funny moments or something, because I like the idea of montages. I think they're pretty cool, kind of fun to make a little bit. But anyways, after that, I'll be focusing on Dungeon Defenders, and then there's so many games that I want to play, but since I already started on the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and what else was it? The Call of Duty Black Ops. I think it was just those 3, yeah. I still want to finish those, so I've got to finish those before I start on anything else. Which is kind of lame, because like I said, there's so many that I want to do, and I'm sure there's plenty of games that you guys want me to play that I would like to play because you want me to play. Man, it's so lame, because it's like I said, there's so many games that I want to do a Let's Play of, but I just don't have the time to actually make a Let's Play of all those. Plus, if I start like uploading 5 hours of footage like every day, obviously not all of you can watch my channel for 5 hours a day, and then you get really far behind, and then you don't feel like watching, and then unsubscribe and all that, because I'm just flooding your inbox and everything, which obviously makes sense. But it seems like the only reason to unsubscribe from someone is if you legitimately don't like their content and don't want to watch them anymore, or if they're just posting so much content that it's spamming your inbox and stuff like that. If someone's not posting any content, and you know that eventually they might start posting, or it's just for a little while that they're not posting or something, to me that doesn't give you grounds to unsubscribe to them. Not that like it's so terrible that you unsubscribe, but just if you're still subscribed to them, then you'll know, oh hey, they just made something new, then you can follow them. If you stay subscribed, the only downside is that number that says how many subscriptions you have is up by 1. Like, if they're not posting anything, you don't need to unsubscribe. They're not going to be, like, it's not going to be giving you messages like, oh hey, you're subscribed to this person, and they're not doing anything. Like, there's no downside to subscribing to someone that doesn't post anything. It's not going to fill up your inbox with spam or something, I guess. I mean, maybe there is something that I don't know about that's actually a bad idea, I guess, but as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with subscribing to someone that doesn't post anything. It's mainly subscribing to people that post stuff that you don't like, or if they're just posting so much that it's filling up your inbox. And in that case, that's kind of where Twitter and Facebook, I guess, come in, because if your YouTube sub box gets really full, but you don't follow that many people on Twitter, then you can just follow that person on Twitter, and then if they post on Twitter, like when they post an episode, then you can just follow them on Twitter and be like, oh, okay, they post a new episode, I'll watch it then, type of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense or something, but it does also kind of bring up the topic of, do you guys want me to do that, where I'll start posting on Twitter when I post an episode, and then you can just follow on Twitter rather than have to subscribe to me on YouTube or something, or Just something like that. Just let me know about that. Because I've asked before in the past about social media and stuff, and I don't think I've ever gotten anyone to reply to me about social media, which is kind of funny. I find it kind of funny because there's a lot of people, or there's a lot of times online when they talk about how a lot of big production, like Pepsi or big brand names, I don't know, other big brand names, they're always asking for like their consumer feedback so that they know what to improve on or something like that. And then on YouTube, they always talk about how there's so much feedback and like you're always getting that instant communication with your fans and everything. And I get that for most successful big time YouTubers and everything. But then of course for me, like I do get feedback from you guys. Like I do talk with you and I do see your comments, but like it's not always like, oh, I asked this question, oh, they'll answer it right away. Like, you know, there's certain questions like, you know, whether or not I should do social media and stuff that I don't think I've ever gotten an answer to, which I always think is kind of funny. That it's like, oh, we have this great medium for communication and I'm still wanting more communication, which again I just think is funny. Alright, so obviously I'm just sitting here doing nothing because this is the Apopalypse. It's around 68 and I've got 231,000 cash, so I could actually build 2 temples if I think I can. If I build a monkey village, I could probably build 2 temples right now. But one, the range of the super monkey is so great that I'm pretty sure I would eat up like half of my towers if I were to build a super monkey or a temple. And I kind of don't want to do that because I like these towers and I spent a lot of money on them. So I'm going to keep it with that. And obviously this defense is keeping all of these ZOMGs at bay. Partly because of the MOAB maulers that are doing 10 times damage to them. Partly because of the balloon chippers that are eating them. And then partly because of the glaive throwers, the glaive lords that are obviously doing a lot of damage with their glaive ricochet and with the glaives that float around them. So this is really at the point where I just stop and I just wait, because obviously there's not really much more I could do. I could obviously build more MOAB maulers and more glaive ricochet, throw in some super monkeys. There's more I could literally do, but I'm already defeating them so easily. Like, I don't think they've been making any ground against me. And we've already seen that I think Monday's episode, or it might have been Tuesday's, I don't remember. I think it was Tuesday's. I did like all glaive ricochet, and I had, what was it, 20, I think? 20 or 25? 25. I had 25 glaive ricochet, and they were able to defeat a MOAB, and I think even a BFB on their own. And then with the Monkey Intelligence Bureau call to arms, they almost beat a ZOMG. I don't remember how close they came, but they almost beat a ZOMG all on their own. Just 25 glaive ricochet with double rank gun and the specialty building, which I don't think the specialty building really made a difference on that case. But with 25 glaive lords and 20 MOAB maulers, which maybe I should buy 5 more, and then the 5 destroyers and the 6 other towers, I don't think any ZOMGs are going to get through. Because obviously this is a pretty long track, and the glaive thrower, glaive lord, has those glaives that ricochet around it and will easily help pop through those MOAB layers and everything. So this is one of those defenses where once you get it this far, you can just sit back and wait, because obviously it's gonna take forever. And I guess they are kind of getting a little bit closer, but they're going so slow. So slow. Let's use a bunch of MOAB assassins and let's see how far back I can push them. Just with all of these, because each MOAB assassin, each time I click this button for each one of these 20, it will either get rid of the BFB layer, get rid of the MOAB layer, or do 1,000 damage to the ZOMG layer. So total, that's about 20,000 damage to the ZOMGs. And I don't think they have that many layers. They don't have 20,000, I don't think. I think they only have like 4,000. So that could essentially get rid of like 5 0MG, at least a 0MG layer, and then that could help get through a bunch of BFBs, and obviously it actually would get through 20 BFB layers and 20 MOABs. And then the ceramics are no problem by now because of how many Glaive Ricochet Glaive Lords I have. Alright, I don't even know how long this has been going. I'm just gonna see how long it goes. If it's a 3-hour episode, then why did I do that? But it'll probably end up being like an hour, maybe hour and a half, probably less than an hour and a half, but I'm probably gonna be sitting here for an hour and a half. I'll definitely try to cut out something if it actually ends up being an hour and a half. And I think, yeah, it's almost been an hour. Already around 70. See, again, this is the problem I have with Apopalypse, because it literally can go on forever. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Alright, post a comment. How many of you actually made it this far? How many of you are listening right now and are actually interested in seeing how long this goes? Because seriously, I'm bored. Why? Just you should be bored. I should do something like talk about stuff. You know what? Again, this is episode 100. I'm just gonna talk about random stuff because I feel like talking, because I'm a commentator and kind of supposed to talk. It's kind of my job. But I don't really know what else to talk about as far as Bloons, because I mean, obviously the reason why this defense was so effective is because the MOAB maulers are really good at destroying the MOAB layers, and the Glaive Ricochet can pop through infinite amount of balloons. So with enough of those two combined, you can defeat pretty much everything. And I can tell there's getting a lot more 0MGs. They're getting a lot more closely packed, higher density amounts of 0MGs, and there's getting a lot more of like just 0MGs rather than spawning some BFBs and MOABs and stuff. So obviously that's why they are getting closer. They are breaking through. But considering how many Glaive Lords I have, and how many that aren't even being used yet, it's seriously going to take them hours to be able to bust through this defense, because of how slow they're making progress and how much harder it's going to be for them the more progress they make. So, and what I mean by the harder it'll be the more progress they make is that the farther the ZOMGs get, the more Glaive Lords are going to be able to attack, and the more Glaive Lords that are attacking means the more Glaives that are being sent through the line. So the farther they get, the more damage they're taking, which means that they're going to need more Bloons in order to get through, because, which again, that's the thing. If the Glaive Lord, the Glaive Ricochet, should be able to ricochet through everything. Like, I have tested with like the highest density of Bloon streams, and the Glaive Ricochet was able to just rip right through all of them. So theoretically, the Glaive Ricochet should be able to ricochet through all of these Bloons. And in addition to that, they have the MOAB maulers causing additional damage, which obviously I've got 20. And I'm thinking maybe 10 of them are actually being used right now because of the range. Like, theoretically, this should be the unstoppable defense. And I've got, like, over 250,000 cash. I'm actually interested to see if I get to 1 million. If I get to 1 million, then I'm actually going to just call it quits. I'll sell everything and build a couple temples. I'd probably be able to build like 10, but it has to do with range and stuff. But if I get to 1 million cash, then I'm just going to call it quits. But in the meantime, I suppose I should talk about stuff or something. In case, again, if any of you for some reason are here listening and didn't hear before, I'm doing a giveaway for Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition. And that, in case any of you for some reason don't know, that's the PC version that has HD graphics and full screen capabilities, and the 2 additional towers, the Monkey Engineer and the Balloon Chipper, and a couple other features. It's definitely awesome. I would definitely say it's worth it, even just to buy it. But if you do really want it, you can enter the giveaway. Something I kind of meant to say earlier but didn't actually say was, if you
are like kind of on the fence, and maybe I want it, maybe I don't, in that case, I recommend that you don't enter the giveaway, because I know that there's at least one person, at least maybe two people, that really want this game. I don't think anyone has ever actually made an actual effort to let me know that they want the game, because I never really offered it as any kind of deal or anything, but I'm sure someone would really enjoy this game. So if you don't know if you're going to enjoy the game, you probably shouldn't enter the contest, just to make sure that the people who really do want it and really would enjoy it and treasure it and all that do have a chance, or at least a better chance, to win the game, because I've only got 2 copies to give away. And again, I don't even know how that works, but I'm sure it will work out eventually. But alright, so anyways, random topic, personal life type of stuff. I didn't necessarily lose my train of thought. Just kind of lost motivation to actually talk about it. But anyways, I kind of slightly mentioned it in one of my videos. I don't remember which one. That I kind of half consider myself a writer, even though I don't actually write anything. What I mean by that is I have story ideas. Like, I have these plots written out in my head, and I visualize all the scenes, and I know every character's backstory, and I know how the plot progresses, and the enemies, and the plot twists, and the setting, and like I can picture everything in my head, and I have it all thought out, and I've gone through it 100 times, 1,000 times for some of them, and I have so many ideas, and like, I should really write that and make a cool movie, because that would make a great movie. And some other people have agreed, like, yeah, that's a great idea, you should make that in a movie. And then I get down and start typing it, and like halfway through the typing, I realize, okay, this could be better. I rearrange that, and then okay, I'm thinking, and then like, okay, I should rethink that and redo this, and I'm still writing, and then okay, I got to re-scrap that and do something else. Like, I'm just constantly revising my work, which I guess is actually the point of writing. Like, everything I've read about writing and screenplay writing and movie making and all that stuff, they say that you should be like, super critical and revising constantly type of thing, but there is kind of a point where I have to actually say, this is done, this is what I'm sending out. Like, I do have to get to that point eventually, and I haven't like spent hours and hours working on it. Total, I guess, but like whenever I start trying to write something, I realize how bad it is, and I want to revise it, and then that constantly discourages me from actually writing it, because I'm never gonna get I feel like I'm never gonna get anywhere. Like, all of this revising is just gonna end up with me never making anything, which is a bad motivation. It's a bad reason to stop. Like, obviously I know that through all of these revisions it'll get even better and all that, because I'm sure plenty of these ideas in my head are like, oh, this is so amazing, and then people that actually know what's good are going to hear it and be like, no, that's not actually good at all. But I don't know. I kind of had this thing way back at the beginning when I started YouTube. I was a vlogger. I was posting vlogs, which are totally boring and pointless, but I had like themes for every day, and Wednesday was going to be like writing Wednesday, where I would basically tell you my idea for the story, which really probably wasn't the best idea. One, because copyright type of thing, I don't have any copyrights on my ideas, so if I really were to just explain my whole story idea, and then someone were to look at that and think, oh hey, I'm actually a successful writer that can actually make this into a story and claim credit for something that you can't prove that I stole from, and then someone would just steal my ideas, so that'd be kind of bad. I mean, I wouldn't be upset at that because I feel like, hey, I should be getting that money. I get upset at that because then they think they have the idea of what I have. Like, they'll hear what I'm saying and then have their own interpretation and put up their version of what my idea is, which is kind of the problem. Like, if it was literally my idea and I helped them work on it and I could say, yes, this is what I wanted, then I don't care if I make any money from it or any recognition, as long as it's what I actually thought that's getting out there on screen. If they just take that idea and make it their own and post it up, and then eventually by some chance I'm able to actually make a movie, and then I make the same movie, but obviously with my own personal twist because it's my idea, and then people look at me and say, oh, you just copied that idea from so-and-so, and you're just stealing their idea and unoriginal, blah blah blah, like that,
That's like one of, not really my worst nightmares, but just one of my like biggest pet peeves. Like that would just get me really angry because it's like, dude, that wasn't my idea. But oh well. I just throw in a couple more mob assassins just to get rid of these a little bit more, just to push them back. And then I guess I could build a couple more balloon chippers to help out. And as you can see, now I'm at like 2 and 3 frames per second. Oh man. See, again, this is why I don't do the Apopalypse. Why did I choose to do the Apopalypse? Why? Oh man. Alright, so as far as my story ideas, do you know of any way that I could literally just tell you the ideas, tell you the stories, without it being at risk of being stolen by people? Like, I would assume that if there is a video on YouTube of me telling you all this, and the video is, you know, is set to a certain date, and if anyone did make a movie based off it, then I could be like, hey, I made a video, that was me, my story, type of thing. Like, I don't know, something like that. But then again, it does all go back to I should probably be writing this / typing it in order to actually get any kind of credit or copyright or anything like that. So yeah, there's that. And again, almost 500,000 cash right now, around 73. Oh hey, I'm actually at rank 62 because I'm actually going up in rank through all this. That's like 3 ranks that I went up. That's pretty cool. Well, probably just closer to 2. Gravity Falls. I mentioned in one of my Bloons Monkey City episodes, I think, because just that show, so amazing. Not just because of what is literally in the show and how good the writing is and the humor and all that and the mystery, but I found out, like, through a bunch of YouTube videos, like, how in-depth you can really get with decoding things and playing messages backwards and noticing different mannerisms, and how much is really right below the surface if you really take a closer look at it. And it's a really good show. It makes me so excited, even though the next season might come out next year. Like, we don't have any official air date. I'm really hoping it comes out soon, like as soon as it could possibly come out. But obviously I know that a show like that is definitely going to take some work because of all the special secret messages and everything. But man, I'm just so excited for it. I do kind of want to just tell about all the semi-spoiler stuff, but obviously I don't know if any of you have watched it, and if you haven't watched it, if any of you are still listening, I definitely recommend that you do watch it if you haven't. And if you have watched it, and you've just watched the show and you haven't watched any like YouTube videos about it, I definitely recommend you look into like all the different what's it called? All the different like secret society type stuff in there, secret codes and everything. There is a YouTuber that, again, like this whole week I've been saying that I need to post a video to describe how you can comment and stuff, and I've never done that, which I'll probably try to do in today, because obviously the comment system was pretty important for commenting to enter the win. But again, if any of you are listening for some reason, you can send me a message on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that doesn't require a Google Plus account. You go to my channel page, click on the About tab, then click on the Send Message button, and then just type your message and click send and all that. Yeah. See, another thing about the whole Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition giveaway is that I don't think any of you, or I already know, there's no multiplayer co-op function of the Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition, so having the game wouldn't like let you play the game with me or anything. So there's that. But yeah, what's going on with the Apopalypse? And I just remembered that I was supposed to talk, or not talk to someone, but I was supposed to play a game with one of my subscribers, and I just forget because
who is it? Right, Fluidic Crowd. I think it is Fluidic Cloud or Crowd. I think it's Crowd. I'm terrible with names. Terrible with subscriber names, which is terrible to be terrible with. But anyways, just in general, we've been playing Bloons Tower Defense battles basically every day. Not every, like 3 or 4 times in the last week or two. Generally about the same time, but I tend to forget because that's usually around the same time that I'm recording episodes, like right now, because it's been, seriously, I'm pretty sure it's been over an hour by now. So this is just ridiculous. I'll definitely put a disclaimer. You do not have to watch this entire thing, because obviously I'm not talking about anything in particular. And it was kind of interesting. Mike Falzone, if you're not familiar with him, he's a good YouTuber. It's pretty awesome. And also slightly other random topic before I get onto that Mike Falzone topic. On my channel page, there's a list of other cool people or other cool YouTubers, or I forgot what exactly it's called. It's just a list of other YouTube channels that I think you should check out, because I think obviously they're pretty cool. Basically, it's a abridged list of the YouTubers I subscribe to. Basically, just check them out; they're pretty good. Some of them are Let's Players, musicians, general vlogger, cool people, type of stuff. But what is it? Mike Falzone, he made a video today commenting on how a lot of times people just need to stop talking and listen, and just sort of observe your surroundings and learn from other people and all that. And I totally agree with that. And I was thinking at first, like, come on, I live home alone for long periods of time, and even when my family is home, I'm just in my room on the computer. Like, I hardly talk at all. Then I remembered this whole Let's Play thing that I've been doing for like 3 months. I've been talking for quite a while. And I've been talking for an hour. I've been talking almost non-stop for an hour. That would explain why my voice sounds weird right now. my throat's sore a little bit from talking for an hour. But it's kind of weird to think about that I've been talking for an hour, and I can't just stop and remember, oh yeah, 15 minutes ago I was talking about this thing, like 20 minutes ago I was talking about that topic, but whatever. What else was I going to talk about? With Mike Falzone and me talking, and oh yeah, because I'm not talking to a specific person. Like, I'm not directly talking face to face to someone. I'm not on the phone to someone, so it's kind of weird to remember that, yeah, I actually am talking. And it's also kind of weird that because I'm wearing my headphones, like, my voice is a little bit distorted, I guess, a little bit. Not really distorted, but it sounds a little bit more muffled, I guess, because my headphones are on. So that's kind of weird. But I remember my dad, like, sort of, I guess you could say, walked in on me when I was recording an episode, and it was a Dungeon Defenders episode, and he mentioned, I mentioned that, like, you know, my door was closed. You can hear me talking. I think that kind of means you can assume I'm busy, like recording or something. And he joked, saying that he thought I was just talking to myself. Like, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to the future. Because definitely, if this is an hour-long episode, it's gonna take me like 2 hours to edit, and then like 25 million hours to upload, which is obviously a slight understatement, but it's just, yeah. I'm seriously, I should have recorded this yesterday. I don't know why I didn't. Well, I kind of do, but you know what I mean. It's just, come on, I need more money so I can end this. Oh man, I might just end it early because of how ridiculous this is. But yeah, I might end this early because of how ridiculous this is. But I just think it's kind of funny that I'm talking to the future. Or not necessarily the future, but I'm talking to people in the future. Because no one's hearing this directly right now, which, if you think about it, when you leave a voicemail on anyone's message, who does that anymore? Who leaves a voicemail? It's ridiculous. But you should, because whenever I get a call from an unknown number, I always just let it ring or whatever and let them leave a voicemail, but hardly anyone ever leaves a voicemail, which again, when I say who leaves a voicemail anymore, I really mean please leave voicemails, because I don't answer unknown callers. But anyways, even if you do leave a voicemail, you're pretty much talking to the future. Unless they have one of those fancy, or if they have a fancy voicemail, but if the phone is reading off the voicemail while you're standing there listening to it, then that's obviously real time, but you know what I mean. What else? Yeah. Talking to the future and people in the future. Obviously not like, well, I was gonna say obviously not like hundreds of years in the future, but potentially, I could be talking to someone 100 years in the future. If there's anyone watching this, I'll say 5 years after I've posted it, if anyone's watching this on November 15th, 2018, that's awesome. That's all I gotta say. It's just that it's awesome. I remember on the Wii that I have, there's like a calendar system where you can see like it records what you've played and how long you've played it and everything. And seriously, I don't think these balloons are making any ground in this entire like hour that I've been playing. But anyways, what was I talking about? Alright, the Wii, the calendar. You can go back and forth through the dates, obviously. And I went back, I think it was like 3 years ago, probably. I went back on the calendar all the way, I think, to the year 2000, or maybe even before the year 2000, I don't remember what year it was, on the calendar. And on the January 1st, or the furthest back date that I could possibly go to, I left a message saying, if you are reading this, you have too much time on your hands. And then I went forward through all of the calendars to the farthest date, which I think was like 2030. And then on January 31st, or not January 31st, December 31st, I left another message saying, if you are reading this, you have too much time on your hands. And I remembered that I placed that there. So I think this year, like this summer, I just got up my Wii and started playing it. And I went to the calendar and I went all the way back and I saw that message, and I saw the, if you are watching, or if you're reading this, you have too much time on your hands. And then I posted another message saying I had too much time on my hands because I had too much time on my hands, and I had to go back and then fast forwarded all the way to 2030, and then left another message on that one saying that I had too much time on my hands. And I just thought that was so funny. In like 10 years, I actually hope that in 10 years I'm going to go back and say still have too much time on my hands on each of those messages. Oh man, that'd be pretty cool. But again, you know, even if you're just watching this from 1 year in the future, you have too much time on your hands to watch this. You should be doing something with your life better than this. Better than watching me sit here and watch what you're watching, because I'm not even doing anything right now. I'm just sitting here watching and talking for no reason. I don't think anyone's even listening to this. Like, seriously, who's going to be listening to this? It's ridiculous. It's kind of funny and interesting to think about that even after I say that, I'm still recording and I'm still doing this, because hopefully, just hopefully, at least one person's listening to this. And if you are, that's pretty awesome. I kind of want to say, like, give you some secret code to send me a message in, and then you'll win one of the prizes or something, but I feel like that would be too unfair. Because, I mean, I've already said that I've got to, and then comment and all that, so that'd be too unfair. But if you are listening, maybe I'll buy you a copy. Maybe. Probably not. Don't get your hopes up. But if you are listening, maybe. Send me a message. I might. But be specific. Be specific saying that you listened this far. Don't just... Well, I mean, obviously, if... Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Be specific. But I was going to say, if you were to just send me a message hoping that I would send you without actually hearing this, but then if you didn't actually hear this, then it wouldn't make sense that I'm telling you to be specific, so that didn't make any sense. So yeah. Let's see, you got 670,000. So much. Cookie Clicker. That reminded me of Cookie Clicker. In case you don't know, it's this I guess you could call game, using air quotes around the game, because it's not bad. It's just one of those things that's just wasting time, or not. It's wasting time, yeah. Taking up a lot of time, because the game starts off. You see this cookie on the screen. You click it. It says you gained 1 cookie. So you click it again, and you gained another cookie, and you build up your cookies. Then you spend cookies to buy other things that will continuously make you more cookies, and then upgrades to increase the amount of cookies you make per second, and then all this stuff where it starts off with just every time you click, you get 1 cookie. That's the very basis. That's where you start off. And now I'm at the point where I don't have to click, and I can get literally billions of cookies per second, which obviously they're just fake. They're not even like real currency. You can't exchange them for currency or anything. It's literally pointless to spend time getting those cookies. But it's just something I occasionally do every now and then. I think it's hilarious that I'm still doing it. But it should remind me, because I feel like you should definitely talk to someone in some kind of economics, finance, business class type of thing. And like for the semester, if like you're a teacher, or if you're just talking to your teacher about this, the semester like project should be who can get the most cookies by the end of the semester. And maybe make it a rule that like once you get to a certain point, you can't click to gain money. You can only use the items that automatically give you money, just to make it a little bit more fair, I guess. But then that really has to give you that mindset of you're only spending money on the things that can get you the most money back, or you're only spending cookies on the things that will get you the most cookies back. Like some building upgrades that like get you cookies per second, like some hypothetically will cost 100 and they'll give you 10 cookies per second. But then there's this other thing that costs 500 that gives you 20 cookies per second, and that's obviously much less, because then for every 100 cookies that you're spending, you're only getting like 4 cookies per second, I guess. And then there might be some other thing that's like 1,000 cookies per second, or 1,000 cookies to buy, and then it gives you like 500 cookies per second, and that would obviously be much better. But just that kind of, obviously those are all hypothetical. I don't think any situation in Cookie Cooker can lead to that kind of outcome. But then that would just be such a good idea for economic mindset and thinking about where you're spending your money and how it can be spent best and all that kind of thing. Which is a pretty interesting thing for business investors and all that. But seriously, how long is this going to go on? Like, see, 300 more thousand. I'm only on round 77. How did I ever make it to 100 or something? I don't even remember how far I've made it, but alright, I can do this. I can sit here, and again, I haven't even made progress in like the last 30 minutes. What time is it? 10:54. Why am I still here? Why are you still here? If you're listening to this, what are you doing? Why are you still listening? You should be more productive with your life. Go run a mile around your neighborhood if it's a safe neighborhood. If it's not a safe neighborhood, don't go outside. But if you have a treadmill at your house, you run on the treadmill, do push-ups, do your homework, sleep, do something more productive than this. Don't go play more video games. That it's not productive, or at least not more productive than this. Which, again, my voice, should have brought a water bottle up here or something. I mean, I could literally just go get a water bottle, and it would not matter because no one's listening. But if you are listening, what was I saying? Oh yeah, be productive. It always kind of irked me, like upset me when people would, even semi-jokingly or even when they say it seriously, about like when people would joke about others having the goal of playing video games for a living, or just like, oh, video games are pointless and no, they'll never get you anywhere in life type of stuff. But like, obviously in this situation, well, obviously technically at this moment, no, video games are not paying off very well, but for others, especially like Tobuscus or PewDiePie or a bunch of other Let's Players that I don't feel like naming right now, they're making a living because of their video game playing. And for some of them, it's not only their video game playing, but I'm pretty sure for PewDiePie, essentially, he is making a living. He's making a very wealthy living, if I'm correct, by playing video games and being himself and talking while he's playing video games. And that to me is just so cool because of how many times people have told you, like, oh, video games never amount to anything, and they're just a waste of time, they're never productive, you're never going to make a living off of it, blah blah blah. I just think it's so cool that there are people, at least a handful, probably more, that are literally making a living playing video games. And I'm sure there are other examples of like beta testers and developers that are technically making a living by playing video games, but in the truest sense of the word, at the very least, PewDiePie is making a living playing video games. And I think that's so cool. Which is kind of what I'm aspiring to do, but it's kind of like saying, oh, people are making a living playing music. I should take up the music and be a rock star and pop star or whatever you want to be. Like, sure, there are people doing it, but there are more people who aren't. And there are more people who try and can't, or haven't. I'm not really sure if can't is the right word, but there are more people that haven't. So I do want to emphasize that, again, to anyone that's listening, which is probably maybe one person, but don't think that just because someone tells you, well, how do I phrase this? Because this is a pretty important thing that I'm trying to say. Don't think that just because someone says you can't do something, you can't. I guess that's the general rule of thumb. But don't think that just because someone is doing something that you can. I don't want to crush people's dreams and be like, oh, you can never do this, but just remember that just because other people are doing it doesn't mean that you can or you will. Well, technically, if other people are doing it, it kind of means that you can, but while it's not 100% dependent on you have to be good looking and energetic and a great speaker and play the best games, like, those aren't the only things that matter for making a living off Let's Plays, but they do make a difference. Like, in general, the people that are better looking and are more energetic are going to be able to make more money just because of people are more attracted to attractive people type of thing. And I'm not trying to say that, like, oh, you're terrible looking and blah blah. One, I have no idea what you look like, so I literally can't compliment or insult you on your looks. Two, I really don't think you should value yourself based on your looks, because there are so many different people in the world that look so different, and they have so many different interests. It really doesn't matter what you look like, someone's going to find you attractive. Probably. But on a serious note, you should not care what people think about how you look. To a certain extent. There is a certain level where you do need to look, like, quote, acceptable. Like, you do need to be somewhat, I was going to say clean shaven, but that's not really the best term, or the best description. Like I said, you do have to look presentable. You can't just never shower and let your hair grow down to your feet. Well, maybe, I don't know, that's not too bad, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't do stuff to intentionally make yourself look bad. There is an actual, not necessarily standard, I don't know how to explain this very well. And again, I'm putting all this work into explaining stuff that obviously no one's going to listen to, because seriously, this has been over an hour, possibly an hour and a half. It's ridiculous. But what was I going to say? Yeah, don't value yourself based on your external looks. And when people say, like, oh, it's the inside that matters, yeah, it kind of does. It not just like, oh, well, you're a nice person, so you shouldn't care about how you look. You should still technically care, but don't let it be the center of your life. Don't let it ruin your happiness just because you don't look quite as good as other people, or your nose is too big, or your eyes are too squinty, or your cheekbones are too high, or something like that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, don't compare yourself to others. and don't compare yourself to who you want to be. It's not a good idea, even if you're not comparing yourself to anyone else directly. If you're thinking, oh, if only this part of my body was this way, or if I looked a certain way, don't do that to yourself. You look fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Even if you think there is, fine. There's nothing wrong. So, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Energeticness. Look at me. Well, not look at me. Listen to me. Have you seen my first video? The first video I've ever posted on YouTube was the one with the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which I didn't even talk, which, I mean, obviously didn't get any views, so, a couple, but nothing notable. But my first Bloons Tower Defense video, the one that has the most views, probably the lowest audience retention rate, but the one with the most views, because it was the first one. I am so boring. Like, seriously, I get bored with myself, listening to myself watch that one. Like, that was just a terrible video. But from that video, I kept talking, I kept playing, I indirectly practiced, I suppose, by doing it. And I suppose I got more interesting. I mean, at least I'm not that boring, am I? Right now I might be, but like, seriously, you're not gonna be the most amazing Let's Player on your first video. You're not gonna know exactly what you're gonna do on your first video. But if you just keep at it and you keep learning what it is that you're good at and what it is you enjoy doing and what it is that your audience wants to hear or wants to see, grow from that and try to just learn how you can do what you want to do in a way that is what others want you to do, if you can follow that. You definitely don't want to only do what others want you to do and just ignore what you want to do, because then that could lead you to a pretty miserable life and you won't be doing what you want to do for a living. You'll be doing what others want you to do and you'll be doing what you don't want to do. So don't do that. But on the flip side, you shouldn't only do what you want to do, because there's plenty of times when you can do stuff that you would love to do, and if I'm sure literally not literally no one will like it, if that makes sense. There will be someone that will agree with whatever you're doing, but you do want to be sure that obviously you do need a bigger audience to get you more views, to get you more money if you want to make a living off of this. If you're just doing it as a hobby, then yeah, do whatever you want. But if you're trying to make a living off this, you do need a bigger audience. That doesn't mean sell yourself out, do a bunch of advertisements, be that kind of person, but you do have to take into consideration what others want. And not just what others want, but what the general public sees acceptable or whatever. And again, don't completely sell yourself out to that. Don't devote your life to pleasing others in that way, but do take it into consideration and think about how you can do what you want to do in a way that pleases others, type of thing. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And again, I'm talking to no one probably, because, yeah, someone might. Again, I just gotta remind myself, someone's probably gonna watch this. Even if it's a year from now, or 10 or 100 years from now, someone's gonna watch this. And I was gonna say, I don't think there's any video on YouTube that has 0 views, but I know some of my videos have 0 views, so I can't say that. But eventually, every video should be viewed by someone. I think. That's not really that helpful. That's not that encouraging. That eventually someone might watch one of these videos, but generally, the vast majority, I would think, videos get viewed. Whether it's by one person that watches for 3 seconds and then quits, or whether it's 1,000 people that watch the whole way through. Someone's gonna watch your videos. Probably. I've always got to throw that in because I don't actually know 100% the future. I don't really know any of the future. Well, except that there will be death and taxes, but, that whole thing. I was gonna say, in a sense, I do kind of know the future. Not like, oh, I had this vision and I could see the future, but just, I guess it's safe to say now, because I'm at 840 million, or not 40 million, 829,000, 839,000. Anyways, I've had a whole bunch of numbers, 840,000. I can't talk. So again, I'm assuming the people that are watching this is a very small number. So I will say that I am a Christian. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos some time or another. I'm not trying to throw Christianity down your throat or shove it down your face or anything. I'm just telling you this is what I believe. I'm not telling you to believe it. Obviously, I would enjoy it if you believed it, but I'm not forcing you or anything. I believe that the Bible is the Word of God, that it is true in what it says. I don't believe there are any contradictions in the Bible, and that people who say that there are just haven't studied it long enough, which sounds like a cop-out, but it really isn't. So yeah. So from the Bible, you can know basically what's going to happen in the future. Not every single step, every single detail. You won't be able to know how many times a butterfly will flap its wings or whatever, but you know that in the end, God wins, and that Christians are saved, and that there will be judgment in the future. So you can be pretty sure about that. That there will be judgment, and there will be salvation. It's basically just what side of that do you want to be on. And obviously it's a little more complicated than what I'm saying, and I'm probably going to end up, if I keep talking about it, I'm probably going to end up saying something that's wrong. But for some of you are going to be like, oh, well, you're already wrong because blah, 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 but I don't care. Which is not a good idea, not a good mentality to have. But kind of the way that I was like, oh, you should totally watch Gravity Falls, I would say that you should read the Bible. I don't think that you should just take everything at face, well, again, I've got to choose my words wisely because this is a pretty sensitive topic, but I don't think that you should just take everyone's word for everything. I think that you should look into the Bible and read it and study it on your own. Not that you should never believe anyone, but just that you should hear what others have to say, read the Bible, see what it has to say, look around at nature, see what it has to say, and then come to your own conclusion. Obviously, I would prefer if it came to the conclusion that the Bible is real and true and trustworthy. But obviously, I can't make that decision for you. You're the only one that can. So, yeah. With that, I guess I should stop talking about it. Even though technically I should keep talking about it throughout all my videos, because that would be a good Christian thing to do, but obviously I don't want to shove it down your throat and have people get all upset about it. So there's that thing, that I'm not going to intentionally say stuff that I know is false. Like, I'm not going to intentionally go against Christianity in my videos because I want to please people or anything. But I'm not going to intentionally throw Christianity into every single sentence that I say. Just because I know that that would just get a bunch of people upset and cause a bunch of arguments in the comments and blah blah blah. But I'm not going to say that I'm not a Christian. Like, I'm not going to do anything that I know would be not Christian, I guess. So yeah, I'm not going to hide it. I'm just not going to throw it out there in everyone's faces. And I think I started recording at like 9:45, about then. It's now 11:10. So I've been at this for a long time. Obviously you can tell because of, you know, when did you start watching the video? And what time is it right now? It's gonna take forever. Which is obviously an overstatement, because it's obviously not gonna take forever. It's gonna maybe take another 20 minutes, 20 or 30. Is this seriously almost gonna take 2 hours? It's gonna take forever to upload. I might not even get it up today. In which case, nah, I was gonna listen to this anyways, but I guess, if anyone's listening, this actually does go up on Saturday, which I'll actually probably put in annotations, I don't even need to say this, but if this does go up on Saturday, then I'll probably extend the giveaway to Tuesday or something. Or maybe a whole week, I don't know. I might just get lazy and not want to do anything for a week after talking for 2 hours. Oh man. Which was kind of funny, random life story. There was this one day in high school when my girlfriend, which I don't know, it's kind of weird to say like my girlfriend at the time, who was still my girlfriend. So it's not really like at the time. But anyways, my girlfriend wasn't at school that day because she had a doctor's appointment or sick or something like that. Forgot what the reason was exactly, but she wasn't at school that day and wasn't exactly the most popular kid at school, so I didn't really have any friends or anything. But it was just that one day when, like, during the lunch period, I just sat in the library and just read a book. And I'd probably reading the Bible, actually, but I don't remember what I was reading. But lunch period ended and I got up to leave. And I just kind of stopped and I thought, like, for that whole hour or hour and a half or however long the lunch was, and probably for the whole day because of class, I just didn't talk to anyone. Like, I just hadn't spoken, hadn't opened my mouth except maybe to breathe and eat or something. And it was just so weird to think that without having my girlfriend there to talk to, I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I didn't talk to anyone. And for that whole period of time, I didn't say anything. And it was kind of weird to think about how long I go sometimes without saying anything, and whether or not that's a good thing. It's definitely good to listen more than you speak, I would say, but it's definitely good to speak more than you, well, I don't know, more than you sleep, maybe? I don't know. It is good to speak. You just need to know the right time and the right way. That was a burp, kind of. It's kind of a throat burp, which is like, gross, you burped on camera, and that's bad etiquette and manners, blah, blah, blah. I don't care, no one's listening. Almost at 900,000. Wait for it. And 900,000. Just one more 100,000 to go. Oh, man. That sounds so weird. Alright, so, yeah. What else to talk about? This is one of those moments when I'm like, hey, round 81. It's been like 15 minutes that I was on round 80, right? Like, seriously, this round is taking forever because of the lag. Which, oh man, I really want a really awesome computer, which sounds like a selfish thing to say. It probably is selfish, but it would be great to have a computer that could get to round 100 at 20 or 30 frames per second. That'd be amazing. Because I'm going at less than 5 frames per second, which is so slow. And like I said, it's been slower than this. Like when you get to round 100, it's just so ridiculous. But what else was I gonna say? If I were to start a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, I really don't think I'd raise enough money to get a computer, like a really good computer, not just like a decent computer. Because obviously having a really good computer would make this so much cooler to actually see this go through faster and make like the last hour take like 15 minutes, because that'd be so much greater. I don't know, I might upload like an edited version of this that's just fast forwarded or something. Probably should have done that instead of talk for so long. Yeah, I guess we're sort of winding down to the end in like 10 minutes, so I've got time to talk. So ridiculous. You know what? I was gonna say I'm gonna go walk down and get a bottle of water to clear my throat, but nah. Let's see how much longer I can go. Because again, I've been talking for 2 hours. Why? 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 Oh man. So yeah, thanks for listening. If you're still listening. I'm sure someone might just skip ahead to the end and then just watch a little bits after the, not really the credits, but after this whole thingamajig is over. Someone might listen through the end, so I could talk a little bit better then. But as a special treat, kind of, to anyone still listening, have you listened to the whole thing, or did you skip ahead to this part? Like, did you listen to this whole hour and a half or so, or almost 2 hours, I think? Or like I said, did you just kind of skip ahead or skip around or something? Let me know if you've been listening the whole time. I was kind of thinking of like either annotations or just saying random numbers throughout the video, and then like just saying those random numbers and then
having you put together those numbers, code or something just to enter to win the Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition. But that seems a bit too hard. I don't want to make things hard on you guys, but then I don't want to make it so easy that like 100 people enter to win and then only 2 copies get given away, and like, I feel so bad because there's 98 more people that want this game and I can't give them the game. I shouldn't worry about that. Like, that's the whole point of giveaways. Only many will enter and few will win, which always bothered me as a kid, because like, man, I want to win. I want to be the few, but I'm the many. Many entered, but only few will win, and that's so sad. But anyways, that kind of going back to the Christianity thing, that whole thing. But the idea of many will enter, few will win, that's not really applicable to Christianity, because sure, I already know from the Bible teaches and kind of what the world teaches. Many people will live, and few will get into heaven. But that does not mean many people will try to be Christian, and many people will believe, and few of those people will get in. Just that many people will reject the truth. Many people will reject God, and those are the ones that won't get in. For those that do believe in God, that do follow His word, and do try to do what's right and everything, and for those forgiven by Jesus' sacrifice, those are the people that get in. Like, the people that actually do what is commanded of them, I guess. I'm still not entirely sure how to phrase this correctly. I'm sure I'm phrasing it wrong, but it's not that, oh, so many people try, but only a few are the elect few, and only they get in, so I guess I shouldn't even try it. Like, no, if you want to be saved, you can be saved. There's nothing holding you back except yourself. Like, everyone that enters will win, but you just have to enter. Like, that's the whole idea. You have to actually believe. You have to actually try. You have to, and again, I say that not because trying is what gets you in, but the belief in Jesus Christ as your Savior, because He died and rose again to save you, and all of that I just breezed over, even though it's like one of the biggest pieces of theology in the world. But whatever. Which I shouldn't say whatever. I should have more reverence for that. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to explain this very well. It's kind of sad because I've been a Christian for like 99.9% of my life, pretty much. I don't know, since I was little. But I do remember there was a time when I sort of thought about the idea of when you die, there's nothing. Like, just trying to wrap my mind around the idea of not having any senses, of not only being blind or deaf or mute, or not being able to feel anything, or not being able to taste anything, I guess, or just not only not having senses and only thinking, but just not even being able to think. Like, just the idea of an absolute end terrified me, because I had no idea how to wrap my mind around that. And it sounds funny to say, but I didn't know how anyone could live with that, which obviously you can't, that's the point. But just that idea terrified me. And I don't want to say, like, because I was scared of that, that's why I believed Christianity, because I just don't want to believe the other stuff. Like, no, Christianity, I do believe it for multiple reasons, because I do see that as true, but just on top of that, it does give me that hope that there isn't just that absolute end at the end, if that makes sense. But, so yeah, just give you that bit of advice. There was a quote someone said that was, you have never met a mere mortal. Basically that everyone is going to live forever. It's just where they're going to live that you need to worry about. Like, just because you don't get into heaven doesn't mean that you can get off easy and not experience anything, which probably wasn't the best way to phrase that. I don't think that complete obliteration is getting off easy, which in a sense it kind of is, I guess, but the Bible teaches that for those that do not have eternal life in heaven will spend eternity in hell, and not really serve out, but endure the punishment that they deserve, which again everyone deserves, but you can be forgiven for it. You are, I think, forgiven for it, but you just need to accept the forgiveness as the free gift. But yeah, I'm really bad at explaining this, which again is really sad because I've been believing it for so long. I even know what I believe, it's just hard to put it into words sometimes. So yeah, it's especially hard for people that don't have any frame of reference. Like, I'm saying this stuff and I get it because I know what I'm talking about, but for those of you who have never read the Bible or never been to church, then obviously this probably makes no sense at all. Which is why I recommend that you do go to church, a good church. There are bad churches out there. There are bad preachers. Not like they don't have very good skill in preaching, which I'm sure there's plenty of those too, but there are people that bend the truth or just reject the truth and change the truth in order to fit their own needs, which is really bad. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Well, maybe not in the comments because then you'll get yelled at, but let me know in a private message if you want more information about all this, because that'd be good to share. So yeah. Alright, so I'm actually going to start selling some of my stuff now because I've got a lot of money that I do not need. And oh wow, that actually got quite a few pops. But oh wow, that was actually enough to get me over a million. So I now have 1 million cash, and I'm gonna obviously start selling these things one by one. Obviously, because you can't sell in group, which would be kind of nice if you could sell things in group. Man, this took forever. Like seriously, what time is it? It's 11:23 right now for me at the time of me recording this, and I started this at like 9:45, I think. Whew, yeah, this is definitely turning into almost 2 hours. It's almost 2 hours, about 2 hours, and hopefully by selling these towers, it should make the game move a little bit faster, so that I can lose a bit faster. Oh man, come on, I'm trying to select these towers and it's not selecting. Okay, sell. Alright, and like I said, by selling these, it should move faster, but I'm not actually selling the things that are doing anything, like the ones near the top, so it's not actually going to make too big of a difference. Oh man, come on. Game is going so slow, it's actually taking long to sell everything, which is ridiculous. It is moving a little bit faster, I think, but not very much. Man, I'm going to rest my voice for a couple hours after this, and I know that there's some kind of spray that you can spray not on your throat, but in your throat, to help out for talking and sore throats and stuff. I should probably look into that, especially if I'm ever going to do something like this. But yeah, I probably could have live streamed this, but that would have been such terrible quality. Not only because the actual live stream would be terrible quality, but then when it starts lagging like this, it would just be unbearable. There was no way I'd be able to get to 1 million cash if I was live streaming this. So yeah, but on the topic of live streams, if you're okay with terrible quality, then sure, maybe I could try live streaming sometime, if any of you are actually willing to watch it. And slightly besides the point, I don't think I can make any money off live streaming, or I don't know how to make money off live streaming, so just as a general, I have no idea how to do it, and it probably wouldn't stop me, but just a random side note. Come on. I could have been selling this earlier and making so much more money, or getting to 1 million so much quicker. Man, this video did not have to be so long. And I don't know why I kept it going so long. There's no real reason. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying anything in particular, anything special right now. Now here's actually something interesting. I'm going to try to see if I can actually sell this, or sell all my stuff before I lose all my lives. Because now the balloons are obviously getting through pretty quickly. Frames are speeding up, and I don't think I'm going to be able to sell everything before I lose all my lives, because I'm going too slow. Alright, so I made it to wave 83 before I gave up. Oh man. That was ridiculous. Let's see, high scores. Yeah, Apopalypse 82. That's just, ah man. And on this profile, I haven't done anything. Let's see. I can't. Can I? Yeah, here we go. All right. So changing profile. This is my other profile, rank 66. Obviously not too much better, but on here, I've done hard mode and all this, all the stages. Except for that one, except for some of the new ones, obviously, because those are new. Came out after I started doing the other one. But let's see, Apopalypse ran around 3, probably before I got bored. I don't think I lost round 3. Same thing, round 5, round 41 on that Apopalypse. Guess it's on the web version that I got so far in the Apopalypse, but you can also see on easy I got to around 86. Around 77, 69, all that stuff. Alright, so I'm making this episode longer than it needs to be, even longer than it needed to be. But anyways, thanks for watching. Remember, you can comment saying that you want to win in order to be entered for a chance to win a copy of Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition. As long as you comment before Monday, November 18th, noon Pacific Standard Time. Man, I really hope I get this uploaded by Friday, because I'm recording this on Friday. It's gonna take forever to upload. But anyways, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.